Hello everyone, I am back and I'm going to do what I promised I would do, which is a stick with me video. Hooray! Yes, it's gonna be well, it might be a long one, so grab a beverage, grab your diamond painting, and yeah, let's chat rubbish. Finally found a position. Oh, I'm always really self-conscious about doing this when there's people in the house. Greg's in the other room with Sakura. I thought I would do a bit of diamond painting and talk to you as well. What I'm also going to do is, I've stolen a tag. If anyone watches the FlossTube videos, you may know that there is a Know Your Needleworker tag. And I've stolen it, and it's going to be Know Your Diamond Painter now, for me at least. So if there's anyone out there who does YouTube videos who wants to do it as well, put the link of yours in the description, and yeah, just link it. So, okay. Now, an apology for one of the videos. So you might hear Sakura as well squeaking as usual, so don't mind her. In one of the videos, I might as well start painting when I'm talking to you. Now the box that this is standing on is quite in the way, so not sure how that's going to work because it's sitting on my iPad box. I needed a bit of height, but yes. And I had to pull my lamp away a little bit because, oh god, I can't talk and do this at the same time. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, I had to pull my lamp away because for some reason it just flickered like mad. So I'll try and do it in a slight darkness. And I apologise that you can just see my fingers for most of it, but I don't really know what other angle to do it at. I don't want you to just like, I don't know, just see the top of my head. Because as you can see, I use my loop, so I have to get quite close. But yes, what I was going to say was, I apologise for the volume not being great in one of the videos. It's only been one, and it's only been a one time, but I know that some people have said that they can't hear me in that video. And so yeah, sorry about that, but oh god, I hope I haven't moved this box. Let me check this is still in the right place. Yeah, it's fine. But yes, in that video, I don't know why the volume was so bad. It's pretty bad anyway, but I just don't know what to do about it, really. I mean, hopefully this won't be too bad because I'm quite close to the mic. But yeah, the mic is not very good. And there's only one, which is at the top, and yeah, it's rubbish. A while back, I did buy a mic. Back when I was doing my terrible piano videos, I got a mic. And it done absolutely sod all. And I feel really bad because recently I thought, oh, it's not doing anything, so I'm going to get rid of it. So I just gave it to a charity shop. And just now Greg was saying, well, if you want to improve the volume, use the mic. And I was like, oh, yeah, I gave it away because it was rubbish. And Greg was like, actually, it was quite expensive. So, whoops. Oh, well. Someone will get a bargain. But it didn't work anyway, so there we go, who cares. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. As you can see, I'm working on Zelda. We've got the top of the tower to do, and the Master Sword, and Link's face. I don't know if you can see it here, but he's got a bit of jaundice. He's really yellow, he's like a Simpson. So I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I'm just going to wait till it's all done. That's why I've got a little section here that's done. And then the rest isn't. Well, this is mostly done. Because I thought, let's do the face and see how it looks. And yeah, it's yellow. But I don't know. Maybe I'll change it out later on down the line or something. I'm kind of a bit gutted. This picture is definitely not the best, I must admit. I don't think they've charted it very well. So that's kind of annoying. One thing I have been thinking about doing is the HUD conversions. If anyone knows Heaven and Earth Designs, they do cross stitch patterns. from like very well-known fantasy artists, and you know, they're really good and they're charted well. And I started doing, was it last month or the one before, I started doing Viva by Linda Ravenscroft, but I was actually stitching that, not diamond painting it. But you can convert the patterns to diamond painting patterns. And yeah, quite a few people do that. There's a group on Facebook that's run by Caitlin White, who's Caitlin in Stitches on YouTube. She's the one who done the absolutely massive, great big sparkly peacock diamond painting, which is awesome. Yeah, she's got her own group on Facebook. And I believe the one she's doing now, Dragonkin, is absolutely flipping massive. It's going to take her forever to do, I think. But yeah, I'd like to do that because I feel like, I mean, the pictures I really love anyway, and I'll get to give some money to the artist who's actually done them, which is nice. But I just feel like it'll be charted a lot better than this. There won't be any nasty surprises of, oh my god, Link's yellow. Things like that. And I think you can tell it's better quality because there's absolutely tons of colours. Like with the diamond paintings that you get from China or wherever, they usually have about, I don't know, between 30 and 50 colours. But you look at some of the ones on the Heaven and Earth website, and you know, they just have tons and tons of colours. I think Viva's got about 80 or something stupid. Which means there's more things to buy. It probably will work out quite expensive, but I think if a finished product that you're spending so much time on is going to be better, then why not, really? I'd rather have a decent, you know, really impressive looking painting, even if it does cost a little bit more. God, I'm talking rubbish. Anyway, I've done this tag, well, I've written down the questions for this tag, so I might as well do it. And have some coffee. Oh, lovely coffee. Slurp. Okay, first question. Oh, this was originally done by Nicole from Whimsy Daisical. Don't think I've actually seen the original video with the tag in it, but yeah, apparently that's where it started anyway. So, first question, where are you from? I am from a small town in Hertfordshire called Royston. I keep shifting this, I really hope you can still see. Yeah. Yes, I'm from a little town called Royston. It's in Hertfordshire, which is in the southeast of England. It's quite nice because I grew up, I spent most of my life in a little village near here. But it's got absolutely nothing in it. Well, you know, you've got like a shop, a pub, but it's just so quiet. But at least with this town, sorry, I'm trying to do this while I've got my arm on the box because it's in the way, so it's really hard to pick up at this angle. I'm not just terrible with tweezers, I promise. But yeah, we moved to this town when we bought our house a few years ago, I think like 4 or 5 years ago now. And I really like it. It's got a lot more than a tiny village has, and yeah, I really like it. Number 2, what do you do for a living? Well, obviously now most of the time I am at home being a mum. When I was working properly, I worked with Greg, my other half. Oh, it's so hard to do in the dark. I worked with Greg, still in the same town, about half an hour walk away. We'd walk to work, making circuit boards, which sounds a bit random. But it's a pretty good job because, well, it started off as a pretty good job because there wasn't many of us. I think even when I joined, there was about 5 of us. That's it. But now there's more people, and some of the people hired aren't really the sharpest knives in the drawers. I think it was probably better when there was, you know, less of us, but we know what we were doing. But yeah, it's good. I'm kind of gutted about, you know, my boss. He's meant to be giving me more work because it would be nice to have the money, because we've pretty much just gone from 2 wages to 1 now, and there's an extra mouth to feed. But hey, it's just one of those things. It's a combination of my boss not being very good and the fact that I can only get childcare where my mum can babysit, because that's all I can afford. It's all most people can afford. I hear it's completely different in the US. You don't get much time off when you have maternity leave. And, then you have to go back to work. I have no idea what you're meant to do. Because, over here, if I had to have childcare, that would be more than what I earned. So, yeah, I don't know how you manage people in the US who have a baby. So, yes. 3. What are your 3 favourite... I'm trying to read my handwriting. What are your 3 favourite hobbies other than diamond painting? Okay, so... one of the things I like to do is play games. I used to be a lot more of a gamer. But I ended up just kind of... I don't know, expanding what I do and adding more variety. Because I used to be heavily into my RPGs and such. But then it got to a point where you're sitting there, if anyone's familiar with RPGs, role-playing games, a lot of it is very repetitive. You can sit and just grind, just fighting the same enemies to level up and, become a bit stronger, blah, blah, blah. And it got to a point where I just thought, God, I'm just wasting my life. I really should be doing something a bit more productive. So now I do different things. I enjoy, because the resolution for a lot of games has gotten so high. The resolution is so high that a lot of the text is really small, and I've just been, shut out pretty much. I just can't do it. So I play a lot of old games. I've been playing stuff on the Wii, just like, you can turn it into an emulator and play old games. And they're old games that I've got anyway. So I've been playing stuff like, old Zelda games and whatnot. So I love old games. Also, let's think, another hobby. I like learning languages. I spent quite a few years of my life very, very heavily into, it's just so wonky, very heavily into learning Japanese. To a point where I actually moved out there for a bit and lived there and studied the language, which I don't usually like to say because I can't stand people who are, just show off about things like that. It really annoys me. And then one day I realised I'm probably one of those people. So, but yeah, it got to a point where hang on, this is so hard on my arm on the box. Flipping out, clean the hole. You right, Greg? You've gone quiet. Oh. Yeah, it got to a point where after I got back from Japan and I was at home, I tried to immerse myself. Well, I did immerse myself to the point where, I wasn't working at the time because I wanted to study, which I think a lot of my family didn't understand. I probably wasn't very good at explaining myself, to be honest. But, I'd get up and study and do my flashcards, and then at lunchtime, I'd watch Japanese TV, read Japanese books, play Japanese games, just everything. And then in the evenings I'd talk to Greg, because at the time he lived in Ireland and moved over to be with me. How sweet. But yeah, I was really into it. I'd done my exams and got to a pretty high level, I think. And now I'm doing German, which I've attempted to do on and off for quite a while, but now I'm just trying a bit harder to get into it. But it's a lot harder now, because at least back then when I was doing Japanese, like I said, I didn't have a job, didn't have a boyfriend or a life or anything really, so I could, dedicate as much time as I wanted. Whereas now, obviously, there's, things to do and responsibilities and jobs and Greg and looking after Sakura. And yeah, it's a lot harder, but I am trying, even though it's only with apps. I think I'm using like sorry, I keep saying I'm using Duolingo, which I bet a lot of people watching this have tried. It seems like everyone's tried it. And Memrise as well. They're both pretty good. Memrise is probably better, but you have to pay for that to get, you know, full access. So that's not surprising. Oh, I can't do this on the box. So yeah, languages would be another one. And third, you might not know this, but I am a complete gem nut. I am into my gemology, you know, gemstones and minerals and jewellery. I've studied with GEMA, which is the Gemological Institute, Association of Great Britain. Got idea, can't get my words out. So I've studied with them, passed my exams and whatnot, and it's kind of a mission of mine. Cannot do this. It's kind of a mission of mine to help people out, and how can I put this? I don't like saying educate people, it sounds really patronising, but you know what I mean. Fill people in, because there's so much bullshit in the jewellery industry, as in like so much bullshit, that it really, really annoys me. You get, you know, people seem to think that jewellers know everything, and you know, they're experts in jewellery, but it's just not true. I mean, you wouldn't go to a car dealership and buy a car and expect the car dealer to be a mechanic, you know, and you wouldn't go to the supermarket and think the person on the till is a nutritionist. Yet, for some reason, people think that jewellers, you know, people selling jewellery are gem experts, and they're not. Most of the time. I mean, I know that you do get some who are really knowledgeable, really helpful and honest, but to be honest, I think they're few and far between. I've got, oh God, where's that gone? I've got so many horror stories about, you know, jewellers who are just absolutely clueless. I think when I was pregnant, we went on holiday. Was I pregnant? I can't remember. We went on holiday and I went to a jeweller's because I have to explore all the jewellers wherever I go and go in and bore them to death and talk to them. And I think I said, oh, you know, do you have an aquamarine ring? I'm looking for an aquamarine dress ring. I want to see what you've got. And they give me a ring with a big chunk of lapis in it. And I was just like, no, this is an aquamarine. And it's things like that. And it was a lady working there who gave it to me. And the guy sitting like in the back was just, I think he was like the main guy running it, and he was like, oh yes, that's correct. And I thought, yeah, damn straight is correct. Don't be patronising to me. Oh, that's correct, well done. I think most people will know the difference between aquamarine and lapis. Oh God, I'm pinging these all over the place. But it's just, it's things like that. Things like that are just way too common. At places like eBay, I mean, I know eBay is eBay and it's dodgy anyway, but the jewellery on there, oh my God, it's just horrendous. And it annoys me because people are actually being taken in. You know, they're buying crap, they're buying, you know, synthetic bicoloured quartz, thinking it's a bicoloured tourmaline that's worth loads and loads of money, and, you know, stuff like that. It just really annoys me. But to be honest, I could go on about jewellery and gems for hours, so I won't. I won't bore you to death. Yeah, that's the third hobby. I think I'm making a video actually, like, you know, Nick's Gemology 101, to clue people in to what's good quality, what's not, what to look out for, because quite frankly, I see people selling jewellery and, you know, they could have the most, oh God, I keep knocking this, they could have the most horrendous lump of something in front of them. It could be terrible, terrible quality and really badly cut, and of course they will just sit there saying, this is amazing quality, look at the amazing cutting, wow, it's amazing, it's amazing. It's like, no, it's not, it's really bad, and it's worth about £2. But yeah, like I said, I could go on about that for so long. Let me know if you would be interested in a kind of, you know, Gemology 101 video. Probably not, but, you know, who knows. I'd like to make one because I think it's it's expensive stuff, and it's important that people know what they're buying, to be honest. I think people, you know, really need to be filled in. But yes. Okay, number 4. Do you have any children? Yes, I do, as everyone probably knows. I have Sakura. She is now 1. She is the best thing ever, I won't lie. Love her to bits. And it's quite sad because she has a tree in the garden, which is actually a sakura tree. It's cherry blossom tree, but that's like the name of the variety, I suppose, of it. And it blossomed when she was born, but it hasn't blossomed this year because it's been really cold and we've had loads of snow and stuff, but I don't mind. But yeah, I have her, and this is so hard to do. You're all going to think that I'm really terrible at this. I'm just faffing about so much. But I can't do it with my arm up on here. Alright, I'll be quiet about it, I promise. Anyway, yes, I have Sakura. So, do you have any pets? Yes, I do. We have some fish. Yay! They're all called Jim. We did have 4 Jims, but unfortunately one of the Jims died recently. It was really, really weird because he had like a big growth on the top of his head, and Greg says that apparently that's normal. That's kind of like an you know, leader, alpha male sort of thing. But it did look very weird. Just like a massive, great big balloon on his head. But yeah, he died. And now there are only 3 Jims. I think they're like Silver Jim, Greedy Jim, and Yellow Jim. So that's what they're called. I would really like a dog because, well, I'm a dog person, and when I lived at home with my mum we had dogs. But I obviously have to wait a while before, you know, before we could get one. Sakura needs to be a little bit older. I don't know, I just feel like that's the responsible thing to do. That's my responsible head. But really, I would want one now. But yeah, I'm going to have to wait. God, this is getting along really slowly, isn't it? This bit of the tail, that is. What is your favourite movie? Okay. I'm actually not a fan of a lot of the blockbuster type films. I really don't like them. I think they are really pretentious and up their own backsides. I think they're a massive waste of money. I think the actors get paid way too much. And me and Greg, we like terrible films pretty much. We like B movies, films that are just awful. And I think it's one of those things where when we say it to people, they either get it or they don't. Some people, they just think like, oh, why would you watch terrible films? Why would you torture yourself with a terrible film? But it's funny. It's kind of light-hearted when you watch a really awful, you know, like 80s action film or a bad, you know, old horror film or something. I don't know, it's more entertaining, I think, when they're really terrible. Because I think a lot of blockbuster films, you know, I just can't take them seriously because they're just awful. It's like when, I mean, I know this is a particularly bad film, but it's a good example of a film just being way too over the top in a bad way. You know when they made the remake of Total Recall, which is a classic film. It's an awesome film, the original. But the new one, the remake, well, not so new now, me and Greg were just like counting the lens flares because every scene there's a lens flare, even when there's no spotlights or anything. It's just terrible. It's just awful. And you know that there's, you know, people in Hollywood who just think, yeah, this is awesome. This is going to be the best thing ever. And we've poured, like, you know, so many hundreds of millions in it. You just think, no, it's terrible. Hang on, sorry, it's all quiet in the other room. Are you playing your game? No, I can't. Oh, turn it on. I can't do it. I'm all self-conscious. Put the telly on or something. Oh, I can't hear it. Yeah, but I mean, put normal telly on. I'll do something because I can't talk. Anyway, yes, hopefully I'll edit that bit out. So if there's a bit of a dodgy edit, that's because it was all silent in the other room and I just can't talk while I know Greg's sitting there listening. I feel all self-conscious. So, God, how am I going to get down here? So yeah, what was we talking about? Films. I'll tell you what films I do really love though, like popular films. I really love old Disney films before they went CG. I think they're awesome. My favourite Disney film is Hunchback of Notre Dame. But I really like, you know, the ones that everyone likes as well. I like Lion King, I like Pocahontas, I like Sleeping Beauty, things like that. They're so cool. I love them. So yeah, that will be it. Old Disney films and just awful films. Particularly action, horror, sci-fi sort of thing. Right, what's your favourite TV show? I don't really watch that much TV, and when I do, it's usually pretty bad. I used to like The Apprentice when it was on, as in the UK one with Alan Sugar. Although I haven't seen that in years, to be honest. I like Great British Bake Off, which, if you don't know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where if you tell someone what it's about, they just think that sounds terrible, but it's actually really good. It's a baking show, baking competition. But I do really like it. And it is, for those who don't know, it is pretty massive in this country. It's huge. But I'm sure there's other bake-offs around in the US or Australia or wherever. I think I've actually seen the Australian one. I'm pretty sure there is an Australian one. What else do I like? It's usually UK things, to be honest. I like... There's a program that I quite like. It's called Can't Pay or Take It Away. And it's basically about... Sorry for the rustling. This is loud. It's basically like high court enforcers where, you know, people have got in debt. So they go around and they say to the person, look, you know, you've got to pay up, otherwise we're going to remove goods. And I think it's all real. I know a lot of these things that look real aren't, but I think this one is. I know that the company that does the high court enforcement, I know that's real. But I find it psychologically interesting because some of the people, the way they treat these bailiffs, you know, not bailiffs, but high court enforcers, is just terrible. Some of the people on there are just horrible. And it makes me laugh because it's, you know, usually the sort of people who, you know, like in public, they're probably nice people, or they think they are, and they've got, you know, the stuff on their walls. It's like, you know, live, laugh and love and that sort of thing. And then the high court enforcers come round and it's just, get out of my house, oh, I'm not paying. You're scum, how do you sleep at night, and things like that. And I just feel sorry for these people. They're just doing their jobs and they just get so much abuse. So I like that. And I also like, I like the trashy programmes. Sometimes in the afternoon I'm feeding Sakura and just watch some of the awful ones, like you know, like the customs things, like the border security, where people are trying to bring in suitcases full of meat and they don't understand why they can't, and stuff like that. It's really trashy and bad. But I suppose it could be worse. I could be watching Jeremy Kyle. Yeah, I haven't sunk quite that low yet. Right. What is your favourite music? I'm quite eclectic. My favourite type of music is, I really like European symphonic metal bands, which are bands like Nightwish, when Tadia used to sing with them, Leaves' Eyes, Epica, Therion, bands like that. They might be slightly obscure, but I think in Europe they're a lot more popular. But it's basically, you've got the metal side of it, which is, you know, lots of guitars, but then you have a female vocalist who is usually classically trained and, you know, very, very good soprano. I really like a nice female voice, and I sing myself, so it really appeals to me. I really like it. That's another hobby actually, that I like singing, and I sang for a few years in our local choir, and I really want to go back, and they are starting again on the 17th, and I'm telling myself that I have to go because I've been really scared. I don't know why, but I've just really, I don't know, I've just been really apprehensive about going back, but I miss it so much. I think singing is amazing therapy. So yeah, I like that music that we sing. A lot of it is, you know, like music that's, you know, a few hundred years old, like old sacred music and stuff. I love it. It's just so awesome. So yeah, slightly eclectic. I like classical music, but I'm quite picky about what I like and don't like. I find that some of it I love, and then some of it I just hate. I'm very polarised like that. So yeah, that's what I like. And I also like old school things that I grew up with. I think for the nostalgic values, like old dance and garage and stuff, what I used to listen to in my teens with my mates. It's always good to hear old music that you grew up with. Let's see. Okay, number 9. Haven't been doing the numbers, but there we go. Number 9, what's your favourite book? To be honest, for some bizarre reason, it takes me absolutely forever to read a book. I don't know why. I'm not a slow reader or anything, but it takes me forever. So I haven't read that much, and because it takes me so long, it really puts me off reading. And then it's kind of annoying because I really like fantasy, and I find that you start reading a fantasy book and you think, oh yeah, this is really good, and then you find out it's book 1 of 9 or something. There's billions of books. Song of Ice and Fire is a good example. I read a few of those books, but they were just taking so long, and I thought, this is going to take me like, well, years to read them all. Even if I read every day, it still takes me forever. I think it's because I have to play it out in my head like a film. I'm not into speed reading. I think what's the point in just scanning it and going really quickly? You need to appreciate it. So, favourite book. I went through a phase of really liking things by Robin Hobb. But now I look back on it, I don't know. I find that, I don't know, sometimes I really like her books and sometimes I don't. And they're fantasy, well, they're fantasy, I suppose. I really like, oh poo, where's that title gone? It's gone, I'll find it at some point. If you're into fantasy and you really want a nice kind of, what I would call like a chocolate cake book, it's a real easy to read, kind of shallow, guilty pleasure. I really like Trudy Canavan's Black Magician trilogy. They're really good. I've actually read those books. There's only 3 of them, thank God. I've read them a few times. And that's your pretty typical storyline of, you know, girl discovers that she's got powers, and so she goes to wizarding school. Well, she's not a wizard, but you know, that sort of thing. But it's really good the way it's told, and there's a bit of action and romance and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't really have a favourite. I used to say it was the Fast 2 trilogy by Robin Hobb, but now I'm not so sure. I think I just need to read more because I know that there are some really awesome books out there that I just haven't read yet. I feel like my absolute favourite is one I haven't read. So, I don't know. Let's see, number 10. Who inspired you to make YouTube videos? Well, as I've said before, I made my first diamond painting one because there wasn't much out there in English that was diamond painting related. So that's why I wanted to do it, just to kind of help people and give them advice, and you know, not that I was an expert, and I'm still not. But that's why, really. I think I just pretty much done it on a whim anyway. it's not really something I thought about. But I'd really like to be, you know, be friends with other people who make diamond painting videos. I do see other people's videos pop up. If I'm replying to a comment on one of mine, I do see things like, oh, you know, diamond painting review. But that's it, it's just reviews really. It's not like a month by month progress thing like mine. But I'd really like to find some people who do. Because I think I only know of probably only Caitlin White. And she does stitching and stuff as well. So I don't know. I'll try and find someone. Excuse me. Coughing my guts up. Right, what are we on now? 11. Last one. What one word describes you best? I don't know. I tried to think about this when I was writing it down. And I can't think of one. I think a lot of people can't think of one. I don't know. I've been described as weird a lot. Does that count? I'm not sure. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm kind of... sorry, I'm just turning this round. I'd like to think that I'm complex or something, but I'm sure I'm not really. I think a lot of people think too much of themselves. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I give up. I am going to have to make excuses and fail that one. So yeah, that's it for the tag. I don't know how long I've been recording for. I don't think it tells you. 36 minutes. That was long. See, I can waffle. I'm very good at waffling. But yes. Right, I'm going to try and attack this blue bit up here. I have to lean on the box again. I don't want to lean on the box. I'll turn myself around a bit. So yes, how is everyone doing? I am doing okay. On Monday, what's the day now? Sunday. Well, Monday, it was Sakura's birthday and we had a party. That was fun. I had a cake made for her, which was really nice because for me, like the only time you get a cake made is maybe for your wedding and that's it. I think it's really indulgent. So yeah, I had a cake made for her and that was really pretty. It was white with all, you know, Sakura, like cherry blossoms all over it. And yeah, I really liked that. And, oh, just remembered something I've got to show you. Oh, I'll do it at some point. But yeah, that was really nice. I was kind of a bit gutted though, because I invited lots of people on Facebook. I think there was about 30 people altogether who were invited. And, I mean, that's not including children. And way more people let me down, or let Sakura down, not even me. Way more people let Sakura down than actually came. And a lot of people just didn't even bother to RSVP, even though I'd asked and said, look, let me know. I need to know how much food to make, because I laid on food, bought a piñata for the children, and filled it with stuff. But yeah, in the end there were no children apart from Sakura. So I have the piñata over there. I'm looking at it. I'm stuck with a big pink unicorn full of Haribo and stuff. So I was kind of gutted about that. And, you know, even, I know people have their reasons, but, you know, some people, they even put on Facebook, oh yeah, we'll be round today, we'll be round later on, and they didn't show up. So yeah, I ended up with way too much food because I was expecting more people. And I don't know, it's kind of annoying when you think people are your friends and then the first time you actually host something, because I've never hosted anything before, you know, you actually say, can you do this one thing for me? I let people know well in advance and it's a bank holiday. And yeah, they're just like down. So that's kind of a shame. Although I was really pleased because my cousin, he is going to be moving away up north, and he actually said to me the day before the party on the Sunday, he said, look, I messed up, I got the day wrong, I can't come to the party, but can I come round today? So yeah, he ended up coming round. We went out for a coffee, and he'd not met Sakura before. So yeah, he got to meet her before he goes away, and he was saying to me that if I was busy that day, then he would change his plans to go away later so he could meet her, which I thought was really, really sweet. So that's what I like, when people, you know, they're honest. They say, yeah, I messed up, but let's do something now. So I was really glad about that. And yeah, Sakura she's still got lots of presents and lots of cards. And it was quite nice because I think it was like that Saturday before the party, before her birthday. My dad said to me, I want to get her a present. Do you fancy coming with me to buy it? So I got to go to Stevenage, which is reasonably far. Well, not that far, but when you have to get a train and stuff, it is far. So we drove down there, and there's like a big place with lots of shops. I don't know what you'd call it, like a retail park. And I got to go to a Hobbycraft, which I was so pleased with. I actually went there, I think it was the weekend before, a couple of weekends before, but I had to rush and I didn't have much time to, you know, spend loads of money in there. So I got to go again. My poor dad was absolutely bored out of his head, but I got to buy lots of stash. So I was so happy. Because I don't know if I actually said, come here, Tile. Sticking to tweezers. Don't know if I actually said, but I'm making a scrapbook for Sakura. It's kind of like me and Greg before she came along, and then, you know, she comes along and there's pictures of her. So I got to buy lots of things for that. Lots of nice embellishments, lots of papers. I bought some of those scissors. You get a pack of 10, and annoyingly they were quite expensive, and you know, they put like a fancy edging on the paper, like wavy edging or whatever. I thought, yeah, awesome, I'll get some of those, and I'm really bad with them. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I can't do it, but I can't. For some reason, where it's meant to be, you know, a nice smooth wave, I just get jaggedy edges. But it's no surprise. I'm pretty awful with scissors, to be honest. But yeah, I spent way too much money, which I'm kind of annoyed about, because I'd already spent loads of money on the party. So that's rather annoying, but there we go. But there we go, it's stash, and we like stash. Stash is good. I also got, sorry, Sakura's crying. I also got a present for a relative of mine, a certain lovely, beautiful niece. I'm hoping she doesn't see this, I'm going to have to say. It's her birthday soon, and she watches my videos, and she wanted a diamond painting, so I may have bought something for her. May have bought diamond painting. So that's even more shopping. But that's not for me, so that doesn't count. That's what I'll say anyway. But yeah, on my next video I'll hopefully show my stash, but to be honest, there's so much of it, I think I'll just end up forgetting to show half of it. Let's see, do we have any more crosses? Any more pluses? I don't think we do. Nope. There's a couple there. Couple on the hilt of the Master Sword. I can hear Sakura and Greg next door. I think Sakura's like after things. And in my next video, I'll show you what I've been showing absolutely everyone. I've been showing this, I'm sure people are just like, oh, that's great, I don't care. But you know, I said I was making a card. Yeah, I've actually uploaded it already. you've already seen it, maybe. Yeah, I made a Sakura card and I sent it to CBeebies. Oh, bugger. Which is like, you know, the BBC channel for small children. And they showed it. I was so pleased. So pleased. Although, to be honest, I put loads of stupid details in it. Like, I shaded the sky really nicely. And, like, the bellies of the Teletubbies. And the lettering and stuff, it's all glittery. But you can't tell. It just looks like their bellies are grey. But there's glitter there and there's all shading on the hills. And I had done some clouds in the sky with chalk and whatnot. And you can't see it. But, oh well, it still looks alright. Still good enough. You can see Sakura, that's all that matters. So yeah, I was so pleased about that. Pretty sad, I know. I don't know why this has gone up here. The iPad's just moved a few inches. I think I ended up just locking it. So, let's get rid of pluses. Goodbye bag. What are we going to do next? I think the percents. I think we're going to have to do the percents because I've got the bag right here. This is one of the colours I've substituted. I am using 3865 instead of whatever it was that I had, which looked stupid and pink. Pink castle and a yellow link. Woo. I really hope this looks good in the end. I don't want to have to start pulling tiles out from the face. Shove that back in, put the bag back in. Is this the right colour? Oh God. Yes, I'm sure it is. Yes. Hopefully. Hopefully, otherwise we'll just have like half a castle one shade of white and half a castle another shade of white. But yeah, that's kind of it really. What else has been going on? Not a lot, to be honest. Not a lot. Like I said, it's pretty much just been me looking after Sakura and I would say watching bad TV, but that makes me sound like a slob. And yeah, I don't sit around watching TV. I play way too many iPad games though. Let me just check this is lined up. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, I play way too many bad iPad games. Someone mentioned to me that they played, what's it called? Toon Blast. And I have tried that before, but I tried it again and I thought, no, I don't like that. So I tried Toy Blast instead, which is like the same thing pretty much. It's really weird. It's like the same but different. And now I'm hooked on that. So yay, yippee. I like playing Digger's Adventure as well. Oh Sakura, don't cry, Baba. So yeah, if anyone does play Digger's Adventure or I don't know, a game that you can play with friends, then you can find my Facebook account and be friends with me on there. My name is Nick Yugi, as in NICKYUUGI, and that's my gaming account. But if you wouldn't mind sending me a message and just say, you know, I've seen you on YouTube or whatever, hello, it's me, just so I know, like, where you're from, like, as in, like, how you found me. You don't have to. It's, to be honest, it's just me being nosy just to see if anyone does it. That's pretty much it. It's really dodgy on Facebook, though. God, I hate Facebook with a passion. But I think it's one of those things where everyone hates it, but it's convenient, so we use it. Like, it's really convenient for games, especially those sort of games where you can send each other lives. I think if you've got lots of friends, then you're pretty much never stuck for lives. That's what I found anyway. But it's so dodgy. I think I did mention this. I always get messages from dodgy blokes sending me weird stuff, really. trying to talk, but I know that they don't just want to be friends. I don't even respond. And it's interesting when you don't respond to see what they do. Sometimes they do just like spam you with flowers. Sometimes they just send you porn or pictures of their bits, and you're just like, yeah, great, thanks. And I have reported someone for doing that, and Facebook said, oh, they don't actually, what's the word? They're not doing anything wrong, pretty much. They're not committing any of the Facebook violations. And so I thought, yeah, great, thanks, Facebook. Awesome. I don't really know. I don't know what they're thinking. But yeah, I've decided that I'm going to become a professional Facebook troll. Even though I don't mean to troll anyone. I found that on my game account at least, if I make a comment and I'm just honest and I'm not trying to annoy anyone, people still just throw a fit and tell me off and tell me what a horrible person I am. So I think, yeah, whatever. It's kind of getting to be more orthodox back. Now I just don't even really bother. But it's one of those stupid things, like I said, I played Digger's Adventure. Someone put a thing, they made like a meme about, to me it was making fun of Nazis. It was like, you know, oh, if you don't do this, then I'm going to shoot you with my firing squad or something. It was meant to be like a Nazi joke, and everyone was just throwing such a massive fit about it. And I said, well, actually, I thought it was quite funny, which was a big mistake. And I got people telling me that I obviously, you know, hate Jews. I think, what? Really? Really? And it was a sort of thing where people just, they don't know what they're on about. It's a case of, I once looked at a Jew, therefore I can speak for them, and I'm going to be offended for them. And you just think, oh, God, no. No. But there we go. That's kind of the world we live in, I think. I once spoke to someone who was gay, therefore I'm going to be offended for them, and I'm going to stick up for them because they can't stick up for themselves. But there we go. That's just something that annoys me. But I won't get into that. We're not going to be miserable. We're not going to be miserable and annoyed. Oh, I've got Fluff on here. Go away, Fluff. Go away, Fluff. I feel really bad. I haven't done any of my Viva this month. My little iPad that I have the pattern on usually, that it fell off where it's meant to stand. Greg made a little contraption-y thing to hold it. It was only meant to be temporary. I was going to buy another stand, not a proper one. And yeah, it's fallen off of there, so now I can't look at the pattern while I'm stitching. And to be honest, I've got my diamond painting out on here all the time. Well, pretty much all the time. And then when we eat dinner, I move it just out the way. So it's just so much easier to just say, right, I'm going to do a bit of diamond painting, and just sit down, pull it all towards me. That's a dodgy tile. Come off. Yeah, it's just a lot easier. And if I actually want to stitch, then I find that I have to faff about a lot more. I have to sit and get everything set up, get the pattern set up and the iPad set up, get all my threads out. And to be honest, it takes me forever to, even just to thread a needle takes ages. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Before I forget, I just wanted to say quickly, there's been a few lovely people who they've subscribed to my channel, or liked a video, and then they've sent me a friend request on Facebook. And by all means, if you want to be friends with me on my gaming account, not that I can do very much, then you're more than welcome. But my main account, my Nick Reader account, I only really have that to send relatives news about Sakura. That's pretty much the only reason why I'm there, and for the diamond painting group, to do, you know, moderate-y things on that. So yeah, thank you so much for the request, but I am just friends with people who I know in real life. It's just mainly for relatives. It's, you know, just personal stuff. So yeah, I hope it doesn't come across as rude or anything, but yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been able to accept your request. Back in the day when I heard people say that, you know, like, oh, I'm only friends with people who I know in real life, I actually thought it was quite stuck up. But now I completely understand it. So yeah, hopefully people won't think I'm being stuck up. I'm really flattered that you've added me as a friend, that you've sent the request, but yeah. But yeah, it's just Sakura stuff anyway, really. And me moaning about stuff. I wanted to put a post. I usually put stupid little things as well. I think I wanted to put a post saying something like, it annoys me so much when people overuse the word literally. It makes me literally explode with anger. Because everyone does that. They always say, oh, literally, when they don't mean literally, they mean figuratively. Literally exploding. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I tend to just put stupid little things like that. And I moan about the BBC. And then I send CBeebies a birthday card. I know, double standards, but hey. Oh, I hear Sakura banging her little legs on something. Hang on. Ah, I think my coffee's gone cold. I've been too busy yapping. I haven't had my coffee. I'll mic it in a minute. I can't remember what I was saying really. I should just bore you about gems and I can make a 5-hour video. I think everyone will be suicidal by the end of that. But yes, thank you for all my lovely comments as well about the birthday card. That was really nice. See, I check my YouTube channel when I wake up in the morning. And it's really nice waking up and seeing a nice comment, you know. I've had a few comments that aren't very nice. And it's just horrible when you wake up in the morning and you see there's a comment on Facebook, and so you look, and if it's something bad, you're just like, oh, thanks. That's really what I wanted to wake up to. So yeah, the nice ones are really appreciated. I'm sorry if I take forever to reply. I try not to. I try to do it on the spot because I know otherwise it will take me forever. So yeah, thank you for that. It is really nice. Go on. I think I'm finally getting this. Now I haven't got to rest my arm on the box. Well, maybe not quite. I think it's because I'm a bit shaky. I always get shaky at like the worst of times. But yeah, I'm really hungry. I think I'm going to get something to eat. I think I am going to call it a day. And then maybe I'll come back to this later. Oh. I was going to show you as well. I saw someone commenting recently about, you know, the white paper that you sometimes get instead of this stuff. You sometimes get the white clear stuff. Yeah, it's not white, it's clear. And I don't like it either. And they were saying, you know, can I just take it off? And I said, get some wax paper and you can just replace it. So, hope you can see this. This is what I've bought. Wax paper, and it's just like the same sort of thing that is on here. It's all it's like shiny greaseproof paper pretty much. You probably could just use greaseproof paper, but yeah, I think I'm going to be using that on this big gap since I've moved this somewhere else. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But yeah, I thought I'd just say that before I forgot. Let me look at all my lovely notes and see if there's anything I was going to say. Apologise for the bad volume. Yeah, done that. Card holder. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's it really. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a really good day. It's very grey and miserable here, but it's a Sunday and I get to be lazy and just do diamond painting and drink coffee, so that's good. Always good when you can just do what you want. So yeah, I hope everyone's having a lovely day, and I will hopefully see you soon. I hope the volume is okay. I've tried to talk quite loud, and I am nearer to the mic than I usually would be, I think. It's really not very good, and I really don't know what to do about it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I am thinking about what to do. I am trying, kind of. So yeah. Hope you're all doing well, and I will see you again soon. And where's the button? and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you enjoyed it and you want me to do more of the same thing, because I've enjoyed it, it's quite good. So yeah, I'll see you around. Thank you for everyone who subscribes and comments and all that lovely stuff. And yeah, see you around. Bye.